asked the quartermaster.
Pirates? In the middle of the storm?
The quartermaster did not reply immediately. He stared out into the sea. Abruptly, he took in a sharp breath and went very rigid. He grabbed Dolphin's father by the shoulder of his coat and practically dragged him back across the deck. "Get your daughter down below," he said as they drew near the ship.
"Come, my child,"
Dolphin's father said, his voice taut.
"We must go to our quarters."
"But Papa, the ship. Who are they?"
"No one to worry about, Dolphin."
"You best not lie to your daughter." The quartermaster's voice was flat, terrifyingly void of emotion. "That ship, it's the Raven. Bartholomew Thorne." Dolphin's father felt the blood in his veins turn to ice at the uttering of that name. He whisked his daughter off the deck and raced for the cabins. He banged awkwardly through a door.
"I'm so sorry, Dolphin,"
he managed to say. He could feel her trembling against him. He held her close and continued running. 100 thoughts raced through his mind. Memories, hopes, regrets.
"Papa!"
she pleaded as they plunged into their cabin. He sat down with her on the bed and snuffed the candle in the lantern. As darkness enveloped them, he said,
"Don't worry, my precious daughter. It will all be over soon."
And he began to pray. 2. Echoes of Cannon Fire. A cannon shot, deep and sudden, trailed off like a peal of thunder. Something cold touched his fingertips. Another shot. "Run them all out, boys!" Water trickled over his hand. "She's taking on! Something awful!" "Bosun, pitch that leak!" Another shot, nearer still. Water surged into his mouth and nose. A wave partially submerged his head and sprayed his back. He woke, jerked his head up from the surf, and flailed onto his side. His face, his arms, his back, all throbbed and burned. "What happened?" he moaned, coughing up seawater and grinding sand between his teeth. He could not see. "Has someone cut out my eyes?" Hands trembling, he reached up. His eyes were swollen and caked shut, but at least they were there. After several painful attempts, he managed to pry them open. Brilliant white light knifed in. He clutched at his face. His head throbbed. Sun blazed mercilessly off the white sand, but slowly his eyes adjusted. He squinted under a cloudless blue sky and saw water. As another wave raced toward him, he rose to one knee. That little bit of movement brought tremendous pain. It felt as if there were shards of glass embedded in his skin. With another groan, he stood. He reached over his shoulder and, between the tatters of his shirt, felt ripped flesh, sticky and wet. His fingertips came back glistening with blood, and he became lightheaded. He swayed for a moment, then steadied himself and looked around. Across a slope of white sand there stood a deep copse of trees, mostly tall palms, surrounded by sea grape and divi trees. He stared at the leaning, gnarled trunks. Divi trees always leaned to the southwest. That meant something. He felt sure it did, but he could not grasp what. He looked along the tree line, up and down the shore, and again out to sea. "I don't know this place," he whispered. He grabbed fistfuls of his matted blonde hair. His welted face felt foreign, like someone else's. A sharp ringing came to his ears. The world seemed to spin. "Who am I? Why can't I remember?" A flash of green racing across the sand drew his attention, and he turned. At his feet, a large iguana sat gnawing at the leather drawstring of a pouch that lay half buried in the sand. Brushing aside the lizard, he picked up the fist-sized pouch. It had some weight to it. "Is this mine?" he wondered aloud. He thought it had to be, but nothing about it seemed familiar. Still, when he loosened the drawstring and began to pour out its contents, he couldn't help but feel a strange gravity weighing upon him.